Hello everyone, this is Jenny Yetto from the Pixie Post, and welcome back to my channel. Today is another beautiful, sunny, hot day in Nevada, and I wanted to do a kind of a mini rant today. I was really more fired up earlier, but I kind of calmed down a little bit, so forgive me if this is not like the most epic rant I've ever done, but there are some things that are weighing on my heart and that need to be said. I closed out my trading week today, it being Friday, and it was a crazy market day as it always is. And there's a lot of things going on in different parts of the world, but especially in the USA, we had our vice president talk and readdress the pandemic situation. And he really didn't tell us anything new. It was just more numbers and statistics and we're doing the best we can and, blah, blah, blah. And it was streaming, and I went into the Periscope chat. And normally I avoid a lot of news. I avoid a lot of that stuff, except what I need to know for trading or just to keep somewhat educated. And I was in the chat, and I probably wasted a half hour to 45 minutes on this, but I was getting really fired up because of all the lies that are being told, and I've noticed a lot of people in the chat, they were angry and they were ticked off, but they were still acting like sheep. Like they were still taking things at face value, even though they were questioning it. Then they were questioning themselves for questioning it, and it really bothered me, and I was kind of acting over the top because I'm not the type to really forcefully say things, but I kept saying, break out of that mentality. We're not sheep. Think for yourself. Use your brain. And I wasn't meaning it from an ill-intentioned place, but my frustrations were kind of getting in the middle of that, so I can see where it's easy to get caught up in that anger and for some fear mentality. I wasn't really running on fear, it was more on anger and frustration. And I was really fired up for a couple hours after that. It took me a while to come down from it. And I guess I'm telling you this because, like everybody else, I'm human. It's I'm not proud of how I might have reacted. I'm hoping that I help somebody, maybe plant the seed to have them think for themselves. And this is where I come to you. A lot of us are thinking for ourselves. Some of us have had no problem doing that right from the beginning, but a lot of us were so used to not trusting in the higher ups, but more thinking, okay, they have some ounce of truth where we can kind of trust in that part and know that things are going to work out okay. And with this whole pandemic, it's awakened so many of us, and it's still doing that at this time. But at the same time, we're so divided. And it really troubles me to see people reacting in violence or thinking that brushing things under the carpet will take care of things by ignoring what's going on. And I really implore you to search your heart, not just on a political aspect, but also on a personal aspect. Think about how you may be treating others, or how you're reacting, or how you're going about certain things. Mindfulness is so important here. Yes, we are human. We are going to feel emotions. We are going to react sometimes, and as many videos as I do about being proactive and not being reactive, let's face it, we all have our moments. But it's whether we stay there or not. And that's what I'm learning in my process. That I am very, very emotional when it comes to these things because I'm awakening myself, so I want others to awaken up. And I have to understand that we're all in our own place for a reason. We're all in our part of the journey where we're supposed to be. And even though a lot of us are more aware, we are questioning things, which is wonderful. I don't want to see others just blindly following things without doing their diligence and researching um, their sources and really finding trusted sources that they can really learn from. Because when you start blindly following anything in life or anyone, but not really questioning it or at least having a conversation about it or researching or even just following your own intuition or your heart and doing the deep work that you need to do internally, you're going to be missing out on so much. Or you could get in a really dangerous situation and a dangerous mindset, because when we have certain belief systems that aren't serving us anymore, but we keep going along with it because we're afraid of going out of our comfort zone, or we're afraid to break away from that matrix way of thinking, it's going to hurt us more in the long run. It can be detrimental, and I don't want to see that happen to anyone. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, of course. But what helps is being mindful in how you're reacting. Like if you see something, let's take the news, even though I highly recommend clicking the news off and keeping it off, except when it's necessary. The media pumps so much fear and so much false headings, and so many lies, and you really can't believe anything anymore, or you have to take everything at face value. Just kind of go, okay, I'm aware of that, I see that, but I don't put all my eggs in one basket with it. And the more of us are questioning things, but it comes to a point where we have to trust ourselves. We can't put our trust in beings that are not there to help us, that are not there to serve us. The more we allow them to control us, the more we allow them to dictate what we can and cannot do, the longer it's going to go and the worse it's going to get. And this is supposed to be a positive post, so I'm not trying to sound negative. I'm just trying to help you understand that if you are questioning things, but you doubt yourself for questioning that, or you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be questioning that because this is the way it's always been and things will be fine, I'm here to tell you it's okay to question things. It's actually a good thing you're questioning things, because it shows you're waking up in one form or another, and it shows that you care about your life path and how you impact others, because we set the examples of what people see, because as a collective we're all connected and we're all vibe off of each other whether we're aware of it or not. And it's interesting because I noticed that I feel the collective energy a little more than some. And I tend to feel it, I don't know why, but I tend to feel it a little bit before everybody else does. And I know a few other people who are the same way. And I know there's a reason for that, but I don't know what the reason is now, but I trust in it. I don't give into it, but I feel it. And I question myself, okay, is this my own feelings, or is this what I'm absorbing from the media or the collective or whoever's around me? And the more I do that, the more I can determine whether it's coming from me or not. And if it's not coming from me, I can kind of dispel it in my own ways. And there are many ways you can do that, and I'll get into that in another video. But if it's coming from within, then I know, okay, I acknowledge it, I process it, I work through it. I don't run from it, or I try not to. Sometimes I can kind of do that, but I'll always come back to it and work on it. And just knowing that difference really, really helped me hone in on what my truth is. So that's one way you can do that. It does take a little bit of discipline. It takes a little bit of stepping back and really looking at the whole picture. So it is definitely a mindful tactic to use. But once you start doing that, it will start becoming autopilot, and you'll start feeling a little more comfortable with it, and you'll learn to trust it. You'll see that, you'll do better with that. So that's one way I try to diffuse some of it. The other, like today, I just give myself grace. It's funny, even though I was kind of like, break out of the matrix, and I probably seemed crazy to people, but it was something that was channeling through. The message needed to be heard out there. And I end up getting 2 Twitter followers out. Okay, I'm not always that exciting, but I mean, that was cool. I mean, at least maybe, hopefully I helped somebody. And it's nothing to do with me. It's just to have them look within and have them trust their own intuition, because that's what it's there for. That's our inner self speaking through us, and that's our true core being. Not just this avatar, not the ego. That's our intuition. That's our higher self. So, yeah, it's been kind of a weird Friday so far. It's not even over yet. I don't really know what anybody will get out of this video, to be really honest with you. I feel motivated today. I feel inspired today. But at the same time, that energy is kind of muddled. So I'm just putting this free form kind of video once again, just to let you guys know you're not alone. I am human. I make mistakes. I don't think I made mistakes in what I said, but I think I might have come off too strong, because not everybody's ready for that, and sometimes I'm not either. We all have a way of speaking our truth. It's just a matter of what's true for us and what positively impacts people, not negatively, because goodness knows we have enough negative energy in this world. We don't need to add to it. We go through a lot of inner work. We go through a lot of what I call shadow work. Is getting to the roots of any traumas we've been through, or any triggers we have, or any deep-rooted issues. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of mental work, but it's definitely worth it to raise our vibration and to bring our light into the world, and to bring that positivity in a unmaterialistic, artificial way. Because sometimes positivity gets bad rap. It's not about being fake. It's not about being happy all the time. It's about having hope, and even in the times of darkness. Hey, baby, come here. Yes? Can I help you? Do you want my... Do you want my turmeric tonic? Here. You want it? He laid down. Let me see if I can move this way. This is what I deal with. Hello. You want some tonic? You wanted it so bad. Coaster out of the way. Mr. Tammy, you're just chilling like a villain. Yeah. Well, guys, I love you all. Thank you for dealing with my rambling. It was a mini rant. It wasn't like a super hardcore rant, but, it is what it is. Say goodbye, Timmy. You don't give a shit, do you? And there you have it. Well, thank you for listening to me, guys. It was just a little mini rant. Wasn't anything that crazy, but just some thoughts in my head today. And I want you guys to remember that you have a choice now, especially now. You have a choice. Empower yourself. Educate yourself. Educate your heart, not just your mind. And if something doesn't feel right, trust it. That's your intuition speaking. And if you're in a spiritual journey like I am, or anything close to it, know you're not alone as well, in that there's many more of us out there than you may realize. And we're all on a different course in that journey. Some of it's very heartening and very amazing. I wouldn't trade my journey for anything. And why am I hearing weird stuff right now? Timmy just went whoop. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I probably have a visitor. I've had spirits here before. But anyway, I'm going to close for now, and enough of my rambling. I love you all. Keep crushing it out there. Remember, I believe in you always. So until the next time, to know thyself is to know thy truth. Namaste.